In this problem, we have a probability distribution. Now, part A says, what is the probability that a randomly selected person has received one ticket in a 3-year period? So, the one ticket, this refers to the value of x. Okay, so let's take a look at x equals 1, and the probability is 0.2362. Part B says, what is the probability that a randomly selected person has received 5 tickets in a 3-year period? Okay, so 5 tickets, that's going to be a value of x equals 5. And that probability is going to be 0.0162. Part C says, what is the probability that a randomly selected person has received more than 5 tickets? Now, this is where you got to be careful. So when we see probability that x is greater than 5, this does not include 5. So greater than 5, this actually means 6 or more, greater than or equal to 6. So once again, it does not include 5. It's strictly 6 or more. So more than 5, this actually means 6 or more tickets. So 6 or more, that probability is 0.0000, or just 0. Lastly, it says, what is the probability that they received 3 or less tickets? So 3 or less, that in this case, it does include 3. So probability that x is less than or equal to 3, this means 3 or less. So for that, we're going to add up all the probabilities that are 3 or less. So it's going to be 0.1003 plus 0.2266 plus 0.2362 plus 0.3754. We're going to add all those up. So this is going to be 0.1003 plus 0.2266 plus 0.2362 plus 0.3754. Okay, and once you add all those up, that'll be the answer for that last part, part D. This problem gives you a probability distribution table, and it says, what is the probability that a randomly selected person has received 4 tickets in a 3-year period? So 4 tickets, we're going to look at x equals to 4, and that probability is 0.0434. So the x represents the number of tickets, p represents the probability of finding a person with that many tickets. So this basically means out of 100 people, 4 people will have received 4 tickets in a 3-year period. Now, part B says, what is the probability that a randomly selected person has received 4 or more tickets? So 4 or more, this means x equals 4 plus x equals 5 plus x equals to 6 or more. So 4 or more tickets, it means we're going to add up 4 plus 5 plus 6. Okay, so probability that x equals to 4, we know that that's 0.0434. That's from part A. And then x equals 5, that's 0.0375. And then x equals to 6 plus is going to be 0.0000. So if we add this up, we have 0.0434 plus 0.0375. And that's going to give you 0.0809. This means if you sample 100 people, then about 8 out of 100 will have received 4 or more tickets in a 3-year period. Now, part C looks similar to part B, but it's different. When it says x greater than 4, so it says more than 4 tickets, in that case, 4 does not count. More than 4 strictly means 5 or more tickets. So when we see probability of x greater than 4, that's actually equal to probability that x equals to 5 plus probability that x equals to 6. So 4 is not included. It's strictly more than 4. So probability that x equals to 5, that's 0.0375. X equals to 6, that's 0.0000. If you add these up, that just gives you 0.0375. Now it says, would it be unusual to randomly select a person who has received 4 or more tickets? Now this terminology unusual Unusual is when you have a low probability. Okay, for example, the probability of it raining in August is very low. Therefore, it would be unusual if it rained in August. Okay, so how do we define a low probability? A low probability is any probability that is less than 0.05. If a probability is less than 0.05, then that probability is considered to be unusual. So it says, would it be unusual to randomly select a person who has received 4 or more tickets? So let's take a look at 4 or more tickets. That's going to be from part B. That's greater than or equal to 4. That probability is 0.0809. Now, unusual is when the probability is less than 0.05. But this probability, 0.0809, that's greater than 0.05. And if it's greater than 0.05, then that's not unusual. If it was less than 0.05, then yes, it would be unusual. And then part E says, which probability should be used to determine whether or not it's unusual to randomly select a person who has received 4 or more tickets? So 4 or more, that refers to probability that X is greater than or equal to 4. 4 or more, it means 4 is included. So it's going to be that greater than or equal to inequality. So it's going to be that last selection right there. A company estimates that 0.2% of their products will fail after the original warranty period, but within 2 years of purchase, with a replacement cost of $250. If they offer a 2-year warranty, what is the company's expected value for each warranty sold? So the way we're going to set up these problems is that any kind of expected value problem is going to have this kind of a setup. Okay, we have scenario 1 and scenario 2. So in this case, scenario 1 is that the product fails, and scenario 2 is that the product doesn't fail. So those are going to be our 2 scenarios. On the left side here, on going, the rows, it's always going to be the same. There's going to be a gain, there's going to be a loss, and there's going to be the net value. It's always going to be your setup for any expected value problem. Okay, so a company estimates that 0.2% of their products fail. We'll use that later, the 0.2%, with a replacement cost of $250. So here's what it means. If the product fails, then the company has to pay out $250 to the consumer. Now it says they offer an extended warranty for $38. So the cost of the warranty, this is what the consumer pays. So this is always going to be the gain for the company. Whether the product fails or doesn't fail, the company is still getting $38 from all of these customers who bought the warranty, of course. So the gain is going to be $38, whether the product fails or doesn't fail. Okay, so let's say you buy warranty for $38 and your product doesn't fail, then you don't get that money back. The company just gets to keep that money. But if it fails, if the product does fail, then the company still made $30 from you because you bought that warranty. So the gain is always going to be the cost of the warranty in each case. The loss is going to be how much money does a company lose. So if the product fails, the company loses $250 because they have to give you a part or the product that costs you that costs them $250. Now, if the product doesn't fail, the company loses nothing. So that's going to be 0. The net is always going to be the gain minus the loss. So if we take 38 minus 250, that's going to be negative 212. And if we take 38 plus 0, that'll be 38. So to get the net, you're just going to be adding the gain and the loss. Now, expected value is going to look like this. It's going to be the first net times the probability of that plus the second net times the probability of that. So the first net value is negative 212. Okay, and that probability, so what percent of products fail? It's 0.2%. The probability of a product failing is going to be 0.2%. You have to convert that into a decimal. So to convert that to a decimal, we're going to divide by 100, and that'll be 0.002. So the probability of failure is going to be 0.002. All right, the second net is going to be $38. The probability of that, so if 0.002 or 0.2% of products failed, all the other ones do not fail. So the probability of not failing is going to be 1 minus 0.002, which is going to be 0.998. So 2 out of every 1,000 products fail, the other 998 do not fail. And now all we have to do is we have to input this into a calculator. So we got negative 212 times 0.002 plus 38 times 0.998, and that is going to be $37.50. So the expected value for each warranty sold is going to be $37.50, which means if they sell many policies, on average they'll make $37.50 for each policy that they sell.